for related to the our term project part. Hope the representative has initiated to collect the information. The second set of the topics which I will upload maximum that won't be not maximum more than 5 to 7 articles. Majorly you can focus here on. So the serial number for that I will change according to that in continuation of this one. So the representative you can formulate, you can update the web form to submit. I will give the instructions when it is to be collected. First you finalize the list of the students who is interested. Once it is finalized, then we have to announce that yes, these topics have been selected by so and so team. If we announce it publicly, then everybody knows that okay, this topic belongs to them. Once it is okay, then they can start preparing for that. So tomorrow, Wednesday, before evening 5 o'clock, all of you can submit that. Yeah, I will send the information, communication related to this. So now we will proceed with the our theory part. We started discussion on HTTP, hypertext protocol, transfer protocol, how it works. So HTTP request from the one PC to the server. From the server, there will be a response. Like all the server client transactions will happen through a text-based communication. The command or information, whatever things we share, that will be in the form of hypertext text format. And the response by the server also will be given in the same text format. So that's why it is named as a hypertext transfer protocol. So the browser is the one application which is used to interpret what a client says to the server, what a server is responding. An agent, intermediate agent, is a browser. The browser only can convert your expression or your request to the other side, to the server. The intermediate, the browser only is dealing. That's why it's called web-based. So to create an application like this, that domain in the application level, application layer programmer, majority of the applications currently developed in this platform. It's called a web application development. Web-based client-server architecture. There is equivalently the another application server. Application-based. In the sense, the app will be created, the standalone application will be developed that can be downloaded and installed on our local system. For that, we need not to have any connectivity to the internet. So web-based application means always we have to have a connectivity to the client server. So both are having its own advantages and it has its own limitations also. So we must be aware of all the fundamentals. Already we have discussed about this. So HTTP connections, non-persistent and persistent. Persistent connection. So non-persistent means every time, for example, through our web application or web browser, one application like .html file, if it is start requesting to the server, if it is asking for 100 images, for each and every image request, the new connection will be established. That's called non-persistent. Persistent means once the client got access to the server, then the connection will be there until the end of the closure or communication to the server. So that is called a persistent HTTP. So we discussed about this in the previous session. I will skip for, so this is the RTT, round trip time, RTT. Round trip time. So in the non-persistent type, these connections to be established every moment for each object on the page. The page on web page may contain multiple objects like image, text, or video, audio, any form. For each and every object request, these connections to be established. So it is very tedious. And persistent type, the server leaves connection open after sending a response. That means client is requesting to the server is responding. After the server is responding back, still the connection is opened. That is called persistent. Non-persistent, the connection will be closed. If the client wants to connect once again, another request has to be initiated. Then only it will be done in the connection. Client server logic will be established only after establishing the connection freshly. It has its own advantage. Advantage in the sense, for a secured communication where every time, for example, OTP connection, getting information on the web page. So every time when we send a request or generating of the OTP, the connection, once it is being established, once the number or any other secret information is being communicated, the connection between a client and server should be disconnected. If somebody, any hackers, if they want to identify if any communication is going on between a client and server, but in a persistent type system, no, from the external person, anyone can understand that yes, there is a communication between this server with the client. But in a non-persistent type, we cannot recognize that, because once the server is responding to the client, then it will disconnect from the client. So for that application, so the non-persistent type will be good. So before going for designing or developing our application, we must choose what is the type of application we are going to work on. Accordingly, we have to select the type of persistent or non-persistent type. Okay. So this is the HTTP request message, how it will go. Two types of HTTP messages are, one is called a request and a response. From the client, it's called a request. From the server, which will respond for the request. The HTTP request message, so how the request message will be. All characters will follow the ASCII character. The request line, if you see any HTTP based file, when you open the HTML file, in a first HTML file which is following a which is written in the language of HTML, but which is following the protocol of HTTP. Okay. So when some content is coming out from the computer to the server, which will have this content as a header information. Header means about the file, what is the content. So this is called header information. On the bottom, all the content of HTML will be there. HTML files will be written over here. Okay. So now we are going to see about what is the meaning of the header information. There are two request types are there. One is called a get and is post. So get /index.html/http. This is called the version of HTTP protocol. So this is called carriage return. It's called enter. After this one, new line. It's going for a new line. Host. Okay. To which host actually we want to that page wants to communicate. This is the page. User agent. You see Firefox 3.6.10. So user agent, already I was talking now, agent in the sense he is the intermediate person, browser. And accept, what are the types of information that browser can accept, the agent can understand, either through text or HTML. Application or XHTML or XML. So markup language is a common word. X markup language means is actually X means it's an extensible markup language. The meaning is that HTML will have predefined tags. But if you go for XML, as a user, we ourselves can define our own tag. That means in the tag means in the page which I have told you, less than symbol. Okay, this is called tag. HTML. If you type something HTML. So whenever you open any tag, then we have to close the tag with another keyword always. Like that, n number of tags will be there. As a user, we can define our own tags. The XML has that facility. Okay, the browser can understand all those things. Accept language, English, US, English, all those things, and its corresponding versions of that. Accept encoding. What is the type of encoding? Character set. What is the type of character sets? So these are all you can explore that. What does it mean? You must be aware of this. UTF-8. Keep alive. So how much duration it will be alive? When once the connection is being established, how much duration it can be alive? Okay, 115. It belongs to the corresponding seconds. And connection. Keep alive. Keep alive in the sense it's normally the page must be live in the on the current if it is in a request mode, if actually we say in a get mode in the sense we are sending a request to the server. So the request to the server, that means we are in a client, from the client to the server. The connection from the client side, it's actually live for that much duration. That's it. Everything can be. If you go for the developer level, depends on the application. You may either increase or you may decrease this timing. There are some default template which was adopted based on the common man utility. If you go for a HTTP request method, request message in general format, it will be like this. What is the type of method, URL, the version, header file name, header information, and this is called header lines. This is called request line, and it's a title body. So with this content, if you see the previous one, this is the content. So the template is the request message, no? This is the general template. When it comes to the reality, the template will look like this if you open it. Okay. So the header line, the header field name, that is nothing but this is the header field name, user agent, accept. There won't be any space between using accept hyphen language, accept. After this there is a colon. So then browser can understand, yes, this belongs to the header information like this. So all these things are HTTP request message template and entity body. So this is the final content which I have mentioned over here. This is the entity body. Any of our HTML coding language, that is active. All these things are written in the normal text only. It is not written in any other language like a programming language, nothing. It's a simple English word, but it is following some template. That template is this. So uploading format. there are two methods. One is called a post method and URL method. Web page often includes a form input, and input is uploaded to the server in entity 1. That's called post method. So get method means we are asking some request from the server. That's called a get method. Post method means server requesting something. We have to submit some data. Some page is coming, for example, in a Google page, when we requested www.google.com, that is a request. Then it is going to the server. The server is responding back. That responded page only we are seeing as the search engine page. In that search engine page, we have to type some text on the text box. After typing that, we have to press the search button. When we press the search button, how things will happen. That's called a post method. So the web page often includes the form input. So form means what? There is a web page over here. Inside a web page, there will be a separate form. That form may have username, okay, detail, password, and all the specification about what are the data you want to submit. No? How we create a web form. That's called form method. So all these data have to be communicated separately. That actually follows the post method. Why I'm saying is this separately in the sense, when we follow this post method, the content won't be explicitly visible through a web browser. But URL method, there is a information is called URL method. I will show you to all of you. I'm typing is google.com. Here, Vishwavidyapitham, if I'm clicking this, you see, whatever the thing which I have typed over here, it was communicated, just a minute. That request which I have sent, how it is going to the server through a web page. In the URL itself, the search -question Q is equal to Amrita plus university plus source. All this information is going through the web page itself, the URL itself. So that type of information actually is that. And if you go for any page, the web page, or any other form submission or something. So the form which I used to give to everyone for just a minute. I will show you that also. So if the content, if you see like this, Amrita space plus university or something, this is called. I'm sorry. I think I didn't share the full page. Am I correct? Are you seeing the web page which I am showing now? All of you?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I used to share the page, complete page. That's a minute. Actually, we were discussing here post method and URL method. I gave explanations here only. So hope the page is visible to everyone. Initially, I typed the page. Yeah, Amrita. Sorry, google.com. Now I am sending a request to the server. So when google.com is entered, it is going to the server through a HTTP protocol. Now, after that, yes. So google.com, when I have typed, something came So request is sent from our side. It's like google.com. What is the response from the server? This page, web page. Okay. Now I'm entering the search character over here. After clicking this, how our request is actually going to the server. Whatever the content I have typed here, Amrita University, Coimbatore, something no here. That content you can see there here in the your URL itself. In the URL google.com/search/ is equal to search ? University, Amrita University, Coimbatore. What content I have typed, everything is visible here on the text. Why I am saying is that this URL, when it is passing through a browser or through a network, anyone can visible this. Anyone can see this. If somebody wants to hack, okay, at this time, what actually I am searching, okay, what I am communicating from source to the destination, something. If they want to know, no, that content I can see here because I have typed content over here. This is called URL method. The post method. Now please hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. So this is called a URL method. Have you seen here? No. .com/animal search is all the content, whatever things we type, it will go through a URL based. So there is another method. It's called a post method through a form. So now I am showing the page of our attendance form. That's called web form. You please be online. Just a minute. Yeah, this is the form which I have created for today's attendance. So if I'm going for the preview, in that preview, you are going to give the attendance over here, yes or no. So when you submit, this submit from the client side, when you submit something, that content won't be visible on the URL page. What you communicate, like this, you may give your complete information, biodata, or whatever information. The page may contain more than 25 fields, but still that content may not be visible to the, it won't be communicated directly through the URL. If that is the case, then that type of communication is called post method. Hope you can understand. Do you have any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the methods types. So we discussed about the template HTTP 1.0 and 1.1. The HTTP 1.0, normally it will follow get, post, and header information. It's a default, it's the first initial versions of HTTP. HTTP 1.1, get, post, and head is a regular. In addition to that, there is a additional component is also there, put and delete. Put is nothing but uploads a file in entity body to path specified in URL field. In the sense, especially in our college AUMS page, in the web page itself, you can see there is a add content or delete content. Something if it comes, then that corresponds to the HTTP 1.1. That's the meaning. in the web browser itself, if you are getting a provision to add something, put means who can put, the client, if they want add something, they can do that. That's the meaning of a put. And at the same time, if they want to delete something in the web browser page itself, in a HTML page itself, so that provision, if it comes, then it's called a delete. So this is the meaning of that. So all belongs to a HTTP 1.0 and 1.1. Yeah, HTTP response page message. Okay, when the client is start requesting, the response to be initiated from the server side. So now how the server content will look like, the template will be like this. HTTP 1.1, okay, the response is coming in the form of 1.1. Oh, 1.1 means immediately in our mind, okay, the page may contain any content which is having a capacity of put and delete option. Okay, and status line, the protocol status mode and status phrase, and date, server, from which server actually is responding for this. Apache 2.0 server. You please, it's called an open access web server, Apache web server. So we used to develop applications by using this Apache web server. It's very powerful and open source. Which operating system they followed is actually CentOS. It's a Linux flavor. So like Ubuntu, CentOS, Kali OS, and different types of Fedora, like different flavors of Linux is there. Here they are following the Apache. Apache is the, on the base is a Linux. Which flavor? CentOS. On the top of the Linux, which application is running? Web server, Apache. We have to see like this, Apache. So this is Apache is running on the some platform. Always to run something we need a platform. The meaning of platform always. So platform dependent. So platform independent. So it's coming here. That's why I'm talking about. Platform means microprocessor combined with operating system. That's the meaning of a platform. Always you keep this in mind. Okay. Of which operating system? For example, some of the languages are there. Platform dependent language, platform independent languages. Java is the one of the pioneer language on the platform independent language. If you write a program on Windows, it can be executed. That program, executable program, can be executed in any operating system, either Linux or Macintosh or Sun Solaris, many operating system. That's why the Java is there in everywhere. Even the Android application. The Android is actually a Android Studio. It's a framework. It's fully running based on Java. All our application which we are developing through Android is based on, it's a Java only. So Java is there, it's penetrated the total market like anything. So people, those who are really interested on to in a core programming industry or something, so you can start learning of courses, J2EE. It's now currently there will be different J2, Java 2, Enterprise Edition, and Core Java, Advanced Java, like many different types of Java courses are there, and advanced versions. So you can start learning. There is no, nowadays the Corona made a good environment in the sense there is no barrier in the learning side. So somebody has to come and teach, only if we got the guidelines, directions, what to do, when to do, how to do, then it's the rest of the things is the individual's responsibility to come up. Yeah. So the last modified, when the data has been modified, all the timing information and the tag information about what the, so some tag information about the particular page, accept ranges, from what range it can accept, content length, what is the maximum content length, keep alive, timeout, maximum of 100 seconds it will be live, connection keep alive, that in the sense it's a persistent type, so it will be live only there for 100 seconds, like content type. Now it is a response, it's coming from the page. Now, so how we have to perceive is, so this is the header information on the top of header. So this is header. Bottom, our the regular information what we want. So these content will be available in the form of HTML. So the computer can understand either if it follows certain protocol language, then only it can understand. Otherwise, it cannot. It will assume that okay, that corresponds to some data. So by reading this content at a receiver in the sense in this client side, because it is a response produced by the server. So the browser at a client side will read all this content, then it will open it, then it will after opening that also all the content must be in HTML, then it will start interpreting what is there. So after that only we are seeing the page like this. This is the page. So if you go for the inspect option here, whatever the content you see here, this content, which is being generated by the server, all these content. The server has responded like this. You just imagine how, what is the capacity of the server. The server should be in a very good way, and it must respond in a proper way. Then only the client can see the page is very nicely. Yeah. So the client server page design itself, it's a very important domain in the web page development. So nowadays, a lot of programming things are available, and to reduce the timing delay between source to the destination. So when the client is sending some request, it has to reach to the server faster. When the server is responding, it has to reach. And each and every small click which we perform on the page, especially in the IRCTC website, no, which you can see here. I will show you. Today I was searching for IRCTC. Yeah, currently you are seeing some page. In this page, I am searching some content. Just I am giving the explanation how. Yeah, Coimbatore to Chennai. If you are searching for today's search, but earlier version it was different. You see here, in the previous version of the page, if I am sending any request by clicking some action over here, for example, second sitting, sort by departure. Okay, I am seeing train departed, yes, available 8:34. If I click here, now immediately book now, if I am giving the yes, I agree, it is asking for a login page. But the earlier older version of the pages, know how it was. Even if I'm giving any one click over here, the entire page will be submitted to the server. Now what happened? It is being decentralized as a small packet information on the web page. That is the art of the web page development. So the JavaScript has very important role over here. JavaScript. The scripting language is actually, it has very important role. You can explore on that. So why I'm saying is this, All these things are very important, especially to reduce the delay between a client and server. If the total page is actually submitted back to the server, what the server has to do? Okay, some request once again came from the same user. So the server has to respond. It has to recognize first what is the request. 95% on this 99% on the same page. Already the server has responded for the client. If for each and every click, if I am sending same content to the server will be fully loaded. To this point, what is expected from the client? If it is given to the server load also can be reduced. Then the speed also we can experience it. Okay, little bit faster. So this is the art of the web page developing. So for that, this HTTP response page and this content and how it can be, so to deal with all those, we must have this context in our mind. Yeah. And sometimes HTTP response status code, the status code appears in the first line in the server page client. This is called the 200. No, yeah, I think I didn't inform the page which I have shown you. Previous slide, no? HTTP 1, the number 200. The meaning of 200 is okay. Okay, request succeeded, requested object later in this message is actually success. Sometimes you can see the 4 not found. This we used to get normally majority of the time. Requested document not found on this web server. That's the meaning of that. 400 means bad request message not understood by the server. Communication is there, but it was not received successfully. By attempting 1 time, 2 times, or changing the new network, sometimes we may get it. Moved permanently, 301. The requested object moved new location specified later in this message. And 505, HTTP version not supported. We may write some application which is written on version 1.1. If the server it is not ready to accept that particular 1.1, then there will be a problem. So that's a message like this. And so this is the please make a note of this one, the telnet and type. All of you please make a note of this one. Please try the same thing at your home on your system. Telnet to your favorite web server. You can type any of the web server. Telnet. It opens the TCP connection to the port number 80. So this is a keyword, and we can type the corresponding web page and through which port actually we want to connect. Default HTTP server port is 80. And anything typed in, it will be sent to the port through a port to this particular address, web browser. So we can, it's called accessing the remote location, computers, server from here. That's the meaning. Majority of the time, when you are inside a college campus, sometimes hope you might have used it in your lab. So have you done that, all of you? Have you used the telnet command in our lab, computer lab?
No, sir.
In a computer lab? No.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So normally in our college campus, no, so students they used to use this telnet to connect with the Linux operating system through the accessing the Linux. On the Linux, there will be some application. That applications can be accessed through your own computer. So that's a logic of a telnet. The type in a get HTTPS request. So there is a get some content. No? So already we discussed about that. Get the source, which address, what is the type of request, HTTP 1.1, host is this. By typing this, you send this minimal but not complete get request to the HTTP server. Even by typing this content on your not in a browser, even in a command line itself, you can get some response over there. That is the explanations for the point number 2. After this, look at the response message by the HTTP server. What is the response we are getting? All of you please try this at your home. You can take a screenshot of this page and try it. In the next class, I will ask all of you to share your experience, what you have done it. Look at the response message and use the Wireshark. Already I told no Wireshark. We are going to do some experiments on Wireshark also to look at the captured HTTP request and response. So people, those who are really interested, you can start installing the Wireshark and start learning and what is happening, what transaction is going on, how the packet is going out from our computer, how the response is being received, everything you can see that. You start exploring because during the lab time I can spend time here. Since this is actually theory combined with the lab. So I have to spend 75% of the time for the theoretical aspects. I have to ensure. Why I'm saying is that lot of interpretation is required. By doing some practical things, no, surely we'll get it. But the context, okay, what is the use of, how it can be used, where it can be used, and all those things, that we have to tell this. Just a minute, please go down. Yes, some official call. Okay, so this is the overview of the client side information. So like this, there will be the user server state cookies. So all these things we are using in our day-to-day life. We will discuss about this one, the cookies, how it works. This is very, very important. Okay, what is the meaning of cookies? When we enable the cookies, what will happen? How the communication is going on from the server. It will increase the speed of the transaction, like that. So this is the part which we are going to discuss in the coming classes. With this, I will stop for the next one is called web caching. So how it is going to help. Discuss about that in the next session. So the PPTs are available on the web page. All of you, please have a look on this PPT. At least the next session, what we are going to discuss. If you come with the prepared, then you can interact. Otherwise, no, there will be a monologue. So then you may feel that, okay, so only the one person is continuously speaking. It should not be like that. Just a minute. Okay, with this, I will stop for today's session. Thank you all. Please hold on. I will share the attendance link to all of you.